Yo, what's up? I'm excited about this one. This is something I've never done before. It could be very easy, but knowing my luck with this car, it's gonna be questionably difficult. This car, this Corolla here, as you can see, is, you know, it looks all right, but this looks like a monster truck. What's that? 4 fingers. What am I looking at on the front? Not 4, 3 fingers on the front, 4 fingers on the back. So today we got this. These are Eibach springs. I got these from Germany, not coilovers, just springs, because being as budget conscious as I can. I got these from Germany last year, and it's taken me this long just to get to the point of even opening them. I have no idea what I'm doing with this. The closest I've been to doing a spring swap and pulling shocks and stuff out is watching people do it on YouTube, so let's give it a crack. Jamie's out. Oh my god. Okay, so I think these are gonna drop the ride by, I think it was like 30 centimeter drop. 3 centimeter drop. I think it's a 30 mil drop. Yeah. Truth be told, I don't know what's front and back. I think these ones are the front ones and these ones are the back ones. I'm pretty sure. I don't know why that's got a sleeve on it. Yeah, I know very little about this. So what we're going to just do is go and rip off that front wheel and try and get one of the front shocks off, and then just go from there. This will be interesting. Alright, car's jacked up. No matter how many times I do it, it always just feels super sketchy jacking up the car. Just always does. Alright, so the other week I got under here, replaced this brake hose, as well as this entire steering knuckle. This whole knuckle got changed. The point of that was I had to change the bearing in the wheel, and it just wasn't having it. So I just replaced the entire knuckle instead. Yeah, it turned out pretty good. So now, guess I just have to disconnect everything. Oh, okay. This is going to be interesting. So I guess I got to disconnect that one, the sway bar linkage, these 2 big ones, this one here, and then up in the engine bay as well. All right, let's open up the engine bay and have a look. Okay, so there appears to be 3 bolts up here. This sway bar linkage, these 2 big bolts, and this brake line bolt holding on this little bracket here. I think that's it. And I'm pretty sure I can just leave the caliper and everything attached, so I don't see why not. I think that should be it. I'm really nervous. One day it'll seem silly that I'm nervous about this stuff, but right now I'm kind of nervous. So yeah, anyway, let's give it a go. Oh, by the way, I just soaked them down with WD-40 because that's the closest thing to a penetrating fluid that I have. So yeah. Ingenuity or something. Alright, so it turns out that this piece here is actually the head of this sway bar bolt, or sway bar linkages. This linkage, it actually just spins freely, at least I hope it does. And I just had to nail in, using a big fat hammer and some extensions, a drill bit basically, like a square bit, I can't remember what they're called. And the bolt just comes straight off. Now I've just got to get that out somehow. But this shock is almost free. Now I've just got to take it from the top and it should be good once I've gotten that out. So it's getting there. Jeez, that thing's freaking heavy. Yeah, got a shock out. Stoked. So we managed to get one of these, by the way, springs, we managed to get one of these babies off. I'm shocked, to be honest. I don't think they've been off since they were put on the car. There's so much rust and gunk and here. From here, I'm honestly not sure what the next step is. I think I've got to take this cap off. I think there's a cap here that I've got to take off, and there'll be a bolt that will release the tension on this spring, but I do have spring compressors that I'm going to compress the spring down so it doesn't just fire off and kill someone. And safe to say that, well, this is the front, so it's safe to say that this one here on the right hand side is also a front spring, and those ones, the skinny ones, will be the back springs. So that answers that question. But before I do anything, I'm actually just going to give this like a wire brush down and a bit of a brush because it's so filthy. It's unreal. Maybe I should try and get the spring off first. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll get the spring off first, then give it just a once over just to clean up some of the surfaces because it's gross as hell. Really, they need to be replaced. I'm sure these shocks are trashed, but not in the budget. Alright, here goes nothing. Hey! That was really scary. Got the cap off. Whew. Okay, so as you can see, there is not an enormous difference here. There is a drop, but it ain't much. So maybe this was already running on lowered springs. I don't know. What I'm gonna do is clean up this boot, those hats a little bit, this shock just a little bit. Just give it like a rub down with a wire brush and maybe some just cleaner, like rubbing alcohol or something, just to make them a little more presentable. And then compress down this spring and pop it on. See how it goes. That's where this little bit here has to sit in here, I believe, right where that mark, that very convenient clean mark is. Yeah. All right, well, that was relatively painless. So let's just get to some cleaning. Alright, it's been a little while. I've been doing a bunch of cleaning and stuff like that. I've got this painted lovely black, that painted lovely black, the old spring, the new spring. So let's try and put it back together. In the meantime, I've been working on the driver's side of the car. Holy crap, man. Everything in this car is so rusted. To nail on things just to get it off, and oh man, it's a whole dilemma. But yeah, alright. Let's just get this thing going and see if I can get it back together and working in one piece. Okay, just to show you what I'm dealing with here, I've had to undo it a bunch of times. It looks good, but see this little seat in here? The light's not great, but this is supposed to be sat right up against here. I keep setting it, and as I tighten it up, it unseats itself. So I'm thinking I should stop using the rattle gun and just do it by hand. So I'm just gonna undo it one more time, reseat it, put it back together, and then this one should be done. And there we go. One switched spring. That only took me like 3 hours. But it's my first time doing it, give me a break. Yeah, getting more confident with it. So now I'm just gonna try and rip off the other front one. And I don't think, I might paint it. Oh no. Yeah, I might as well paint it. Stoked with that, cool. Holy shit, man. These two here were a battle. Those two bolts there were a battle. Got heat on them, WD-40, ended up getting the breaker bar out. Holy that was intense. At one point, man, this wrench sitting on this bolt here, I fired off through the mud guard. So that was dangerous, but I won the battle. So now we're just gonna unbolt the rest of this, get it off, and maybe quickly buzz through the second front one.
Oh, you make me wanna talk back to you. Say it like that. If I hate you, then find someone new, baby. But you know I never will. No, so I choke you down just like a pill.
There we go. 2 shocks, 2 fronts. This is not seated quite right, as you can see down here. This little seating is a little bit out, so I'm just going to fix that up now. And it's dark outside, but I'm going to have a go at pulling the rear shocks out, so won't be able to film it, but you know, here's what it is. Alrighty, carry on. Alright, got one of the rears out. It's a hell of a lot more involved getting the rear out. You've got to get 2 bolts. You've got to rip out half the boot, get 2 bolts at the top, 1 at the bottom, and then 1 attached to the lower control arm. So it's not easy. There's a lot of cars that just have like a spring individual, but these actually have a coil over shock. So yeah, anyway, just gonna rip this top one off. These back ones, I'm not gonna bother painting. I painted the 2 front ones, but these back ones, to be honest, I just kind of want to get it done. I'm not gonna bother painting them. Just gonna slap on the new spring and get on with it.
I'm following your lead, I'm following this feeling. I'm conquering this fear, I'm busting through the ceiling. I'm following your lead, I'm following this feeling. I'm conquering this fear, I'm busting through the ceiling. I'm following your lead, I'm following this feeling. I'm conquering this fear, I'm busting through the ceiling. I'm following your lead, I'm following this feeling. Conquering this fear, I'm busting through the ceiling. Busting through the ceiling.
Holy crap, that's fiddly. Jeez, you saw me undo it like 6 times. Alright, rear shock, there we go. So I'm actually going to throw this one straight back on the car because I need the jack to get the other one off. So yeah, I'm just going to go pop this back on the car, bring the other one in and do that. Another hard fought battle won with the rear driver's side of the car. Man, it's rusty down there. A lot of persuasion. Took, I would say, a good 40 minutes to get that shock off here. Yeah, and I did my finger in real good. It looks worse than it is, really. It's just like a scratch across the top, but it just likes to bleed a lot. But so I've switched out 3 of the springs, this last one, I'm just gonna leave until the morning because I'm buggered. It's been a really long day. It's ridiculous how long it has taken just to switch the springs, but to be honest, it doesn't come as a huge surprise. I don't think anything suspension-wise has moved since this car left the lot. So, I'm gonna jump back on it tomorrow. And right now I'm gonna get myself a big glass of water. Holy crap.
Control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from.
All right, tools out of the way. Let's have a look and see how it turned out. It's like kind of hard to spot a difference, but there definitely is one. Let's do the finger test. So before at the back, I think if I recall, it was either 3 or 4. I think it was 4 fingers at the back. Definitely not the case now. It's closer to 2 and a bit. It's not quite 3. So yeah, it's like 2.5 at the back. And at the front, we've got 2, just 2 fingers. So that's a fairly considerable drop. It's I don't think it's going to scrub. It looks like it's going to have plenty of room to move around in there. So I guess now the only thing to do is take it for a little drive and just see if it scrubs. See how it goes. Yeah, there is a tiny bit of rubbing, I think, on the inside of the guard, which I'll deal with. It's really not much. It's like teeny tiny. For whatever reason, there's more rubbing on the front right than the front left. Overall though, I like the feel. It feels planted, like it feels different. It's not a huge drop, but there is definitely a subtle difference in the way it feels. It feels more planted, more zippy on the ground kind of. It's not quite so much body roll, which you would expect from load springs. They're probably a bit stronger as well. It's just, it's one of those things that as soon as it gets done, I'm like, okay, I want to get the next thing done. And the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. I just want it to be done. I want to have a nice car. Oh my god, it needs a wash. Maybe that's what I should do this afternoon. This car's filthy and it has been for so long. All in all, pretty happy with that. Like, it's got a little ways to go. I've got a few things to fix up. There's a bit of a scrape, a bit of a squeak going on down there. I'm not entirely sure what it is. But I think the car looks good. I like how it looks. As well as, feels pretty good. And those springs will settle a bit more in the coming days. So, yes, also for those who have noticed, one side of the car is white and one side is grey. Yes, I will end up painting these. I've just been dragging my feet on it. There, that turned out really good. I'm really stoked for that. It looks so low now. Yeah, it's looking good. I'm happy with how it's coming along. You know, it's slow, it's basic. I'm just learning the ropes as we go, but it's going good. I'm pretty happy with it. So, for those of you who watched, thank you so much. Stay till the end. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you'd like to help out at all, honestly, just like liking the video helps a lot. If you want to subscribe, that'd be awesome too. But like for the YouTube algorithm, liking is a huge deal and kind of gets get some more traffic toward the channel and more priority for YouTube. So if you want to do that for me, that like would be awesome. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, if not, then downvote it, whatever. It's up to you. But yeah, thanks for coming along. And the next thing, I think we're gonna try and wide body it. I think that's what we're gonna try and do next. Yeah, it should be interesting. I'm a little nervous about that one, but yeah, whatever. I'm nervous about it all. So as I'm learning, it's a good time. But thank you again for watching. I appreciate it. Álög.